The championship organizations in boxing have created a lot of confusion with the excessive numbers of titles out there. And in 2019, the WBC introduced the Franchise Championship when they crowned Canelo Alvarez as the inaugural middleweight franchise champion. According to the WBC, a franchise champion is a quote-unquote a special designation and status which the WBC may bestow to a current WBC world champion who is also an elite boxer and who has achieved and maintains the highest stature in the sport. Plus, its holder has the right to pursue fights of his choosing without the responsibility of making mandatory title defenses. Bill, so far, 3 pa lang ang binibigyan ng franchise belts ng WBC. Pero kung iisipin mo, aside from the confusion that it makes, parang may element of favoritism at, dapat big star ka.
Oo, sa tingin ko, parang talagang masasabi nating arbitrary, no? If you look at all the different boxing organizations, the WBA was already pressured to start trimming down because it had so many. Itong franchise boxer na to was introduced in 2002, pero 2004 lang talaga siya medyo gumawa ng ingay. No? So the funny thing about this here is being a franchise boxer is not something you can win or lose. It's basically the decision of the WBC. No? And along the way, they've been defending the rule and even modifying it. Now, if you take a look at the list of the different kinds of existing belts, this is already the 7th type. You have your regular champion, your super champion, your international champion, may global champion, silver champion, interim champion, tapos ngayon franchise champion pa. This doesn't even include the eternal champion, diamond champion, and all these other nonsensical belts that are given out. So parang nag-iimbento na lang sila para mas marami silang franchise fee na masingil, mas maraming laban, mas makaakit ng mga boksingero. It's really strange, no? And
at one point,
mga tao, diba?
At one point, nagkaroon pa nga ng Aztec title na binigay kay Canelo Alvarez. Ngayon, nabanggit mo na nga itong sanctioning fee. Kasi nga, sa mga hindi nakakaalam, ang bawat title defenses ay may kaakibat na tinatawag na sanctioning fees. And nagkaroon ng idea ang WBC na magkaroon ng franchise championship ng piliin kalabanin ni Canelo Alvarez itong si Sergey Kovalev for the WBO light heavyweight title. Ngayon, kaso ang mandatory opponent nung panahon na yon and ang interim champion ay itong si Jermall Charlo. Ang ginawa nila, they promoted Charlo and reclassified Canelo as the franchise champion. Ngayon, kung sakali, yung mga panahon na kung sakaling lumaban ulit, itong si Canelo Alvarez sa middleweight nung panahon na yon, may paraan ng WBC na magpataw ng sanctioning fees kasi siya nga yung tinatawag na franchise champion. Ganon din ang ginawa nila kay Lomachenko in 2020 dahil mas pinili niyang kalabanin ito nga si Teofimo Lopez and most recently kay Juan Francisco Estrada. Ang gusto niya ay isang rubber match against Roman Chocolatito Gonzalez pero ang mandatory challenger niya ay itong ang Thai fighter na si Sri Sakit Surong Bisay. In short, Bill, money talks
Oh, yun na nga ang mahirap doon kasi may patakaran tayo, di ba? Yung mga international champion, those are usually the fighters ranked in 11th to 20th, and you can get into the top 10 and get a shot at the title fight. But there is no clear rule or clear protocol na kung gawin mo to or matalo mo si ganito, makakakuha ka ng title shot or kung ano man ang magiging ranking mo. Sa katunayan nga, minsan napag-uusapan yan yung bata ko number 7, gawin niya naman number 5. Diba? First of all, it's so hard because it's all a matter of timing. Paano kung halimbawa isang beses sa isang taon o 2 beses ka lang sa isang taon lumaban? Diba? Paano mo masasabing dapat taasan ba yung ranking mo? Diba? Kaya yun talaga hindi naintindihan ng tao yon. And in the process, we have made it in such a way that it's really just the fighters who make fights. The championship for me has become more of just a formality. A lot of people would watch Manny Pacquiao fight anyway, But if he's fighting for a title, that just makes it juicier for the fans. No? At mas malaki ang kikitain. Kasi kumbaga may pinaglalabanan. So in this way, pinadadami ng WBC kung ano yung pinaglalabanan. Pero sa totoo lang, walang nakakaintindi kung anong ibig sabihin ng franchise champion. Kumbaga, ang ibig sabihin ng franchise champion sa Tagalog, bata namin yan, pwede niyang gawin kahit anong gusto niya.
Exactly. Now, Bill, the franchise belt really created itong confusion in the lightweight division. As I mentioned a while ago, ito nga si Lomachenko was reclassified as franchise champion when he fought Teofimo Lopez last year. And as we all know, Lopez won the fight. And aside from the franchise title, he won 3 other major world titles because the WBA, the WBO, and the IBF titles were on the line in that fight. So some heralded ito nga si Teofimo Lopez as the unofficial undisputed champion. Although ito nga si Devin Haney has been promoted as the official champion at 135 pounds. Last weekend, ito nga tinalo ni George Kambosos itong si Teofimo Lopez for those 3 major world titles and the franchise championship. On paper, of course, you can't really say that Kambosos is the undisputed champion at 135 pounds. Pero kung titignan natin yung lineage, Kambosos beat the man who was reclassified as the franchise champion. So,
that's the definition of lineal champion. You're the man.
Exactly.
The man. Pero ang punto ko doon, iba yung nagtanim, ikaw yung nag-ani. Kumbaga,
exactly.
Diba? Like, for example, if anybody beats Canelo Alvarez now, it's not, for me, it's not as impressive because he won those belts 1 by 1 or 2 by 2. No, talagang pinaghirapan niya sa mahabang panahon yung mga belt na yan. Tapos dadating ka na lang na nakuha na niya lahat, kukunin mo lang sa kanya. So in other words, it's a shortcut. At saka, ano ba talagang ibig sabihin ng franchise champion? Wala namang halaga yan eh. Diba, bagong bansag lang yan. Binigyan mo na, gumawa ka ng bagong kategorya, tapos maglalagay ka lang ng tao doon. Gusto mong marami kayong champion. Diba? So sino ba talaga ang world champion dyan? Wala. Diba? Wala sa kanila kasi parang lumabnaw na yung pagiging champion.
Yes, saturated na. Exactly. Bill, just a last question regarding this topic. Do you see signs that this move made by the WBC to introduce franchise champions will eventually backfire on them at some point in the future?
I think that, at most, it will be an add-on feature because it's not a real thing.
Yeah.
Pangalawa, para ka lang bumili ng damit sa Divisoria at nilagyan mo ng tatak ng Nike o Adidas o kung ano. It's not the real thing. Okay? You're just branding it, hoping that it will catch on, sort of like the Bridgerweight division.
Yeah.
Diba? Wala namang ganun eh. Nakita lang nila, uy, meron pang puwang dito, malaki yung agwat, no? Lagyan natin ng isa pang weight class because all the other weight classes are just a matter of a few pounds. No? So this is just something new, something made up. And it's either just going to fade away or they're going to take some heat for it because the WBA is going to start saying, bakit kami pinag-iinitan? Kayo ang dami-dami nyo ring champion.
Exactly. Yeah.
So, ganun na mangyayari doon.